Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's been a while. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Um, Thank you very much for watching our videos. Thank you very much for subscribing. We appreciate each subscriber that is here with us, and we really thank God for you, because we have noted that someone is taking their time and is subscribing, liking, sharing, and even giving us a thumbs up, and we really appreciate this. Guys, if you're already on the YouTube channel and you're already watching a video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I mean, your comment is priceless to us, and your sorry, let me check my lighting just a bit. And yes, so good. So guys, it won't cost you anything to just click the like, the thumbs up, and just tell us what you think about our video. If you like it, we will appreciate. I mean, if you don't like it, we will take a suggestion from you. So feedback is feedback. Don't forget to give us feedback. One thing that I have really learned to do, to take not for granted, is feedback, because feedback grows you big. Before I say too much, my name is Achingo Pio, and my minis are doing their homeworks, and so they will not be here with us today, but they will be here once their homeworks are done. Anyway, so another topic today, guys, and I want to ask a question. But before I ask a question, I will speak to us. Well, I'll go straight to asking my question. And yes, who doesn't want to shine? You want to shine, I want to shine, we all want to shine. So whatever work that you do, you want to shine in your work. One thing that makes me very happy is when I do something and I am given a positive feedback and I am told that you did this very well. I normally just shake my collar in silence and say, God, give me the grace to keep doing better, because we all want to be at the top at some point. No one wants to be told all the time that, oh, you would have done this, you didn't do well. But yes, there are those situations, as I have told you before, I have failed so many times, and there are times I have done work and it came back to me, back and forth. I didn't give up. What I did was to appreciate the person who was giving me feedback, spoke to them and asked them, what can I do better? What is it that I can do to make this work outstanding? Because if you are outstanding in your work, then trust you me, it doesn't have to be your colleague or your boss or your supervisor to see this. God is seeing it, and when he decides, then he will open a way for you. So I am here today to tell you that if you are doing something, you have to do it with your whole heart. You have to do it wholeheartedly. Anyway, my topic today is, I want to speak about house girls. And my question is, are house girls allergic to good bosses? Guys, I have treated my house girls the best way that I know. I don't know whether this is where I make the mistake, but I normally take my house girls as my sisters. I look at them like a sister, like a cousin, someone you hold dearly, like family. But every time I have been disappointed. I think I am making a big mistake. But what can I do to make this better? What do you do as someone who employs house girls to have a good relationship with them? When I get a house girl, for example, I got one house girl from the village, and she was good, doing her work so well. But then again, at some point, she started telling me, oh, I need to go, my child, just so many stories. And when she gave me those stories, I was like, hey, when a child is involved, I'm just looking at it with mine, because si mimi nitamwachia mtoto wangu, si ataenda apeleke mtoto wangu shule and all that, ataangaliaje wangu kama wake hayuko sawa? you know. So I was like, you go sort your issues with your baby, I mean, with your baby daddy or whatever, and then when you're done, you can come back. When you let someone go so easily, then it is the best thing they could do is to come back easily, or maybe just tell you, I am not coming back, you know. But then when that lady left, she went, and then she was like, oh, I'll come back tomorrow, I'll come back tomorrow, I'll come, you know, until I got tired. So I was like, it's not even good, it's not respectful, or even, no, it's not human enough to just bring someone after her and say, she's gone to the village, I know she won't come back. What an assumption. What if she does come back for sure? But you see, when she goes, she doesn't come back. What does she expect? Wewe uko na watoto, they need to go to school, they need to come back home and find someone, and they also need to, you know, be cooked for, and they need to eat. But here is the case. They will go, they don't come back, they don't even tell you that they won't come back. Wewe unashtuka tu, like this one was like, wacha nibebe hizi nguo, nimeshinda, so that when I come, I can go and, so that I can take these clothes home and I can give them to my sisters, because that nimezishinda and they are not even helping me here. Well, I was like, well, beba, you know, she cleared, as in she bebared kila kitu, and then she didn't come back, and she didn't even give me an excuse. I mean, she didn't tell me the reason why she was not coming back. What do you do to keep your house girls? I mean, what is it that you do that some of us don't do? How do you relate with the house girls? I know there's this norm that goes, I mean, there's this notion that you treat a house girl like an employee. You know, you cannot put, you cannot combine relationship, like personal relationship with work. Good. But how do we achieve this? Some of us don't know totally how to achieve such things. You treat somebody so well. When you are in the house, they don't cook, they don't wash, as in you support them. During the weekend, if they have their off days, they can go leave Sunday very early and come back later on in the evening. And you're just like, man, if I'm working somewhere and I have the weekend off, so she also needs a weekend off. When you're home, they don't do anything. Like, kuosha nguo, wataosha nguo during weekdays. When you are in the house, you know, take part and wash your husband's clothes, you wash your clothes, you iron, you know, you're just supporting where you can. But what? At the end of the day, you still pay them, right? Because they are there to work, just the same way you're working, you're being paid, so you have to pay them. But what is it that sometimes we don't do right? That when a house girl wants to leave you, they don't even tell you, me, I'm leaving and I'm going and I will not come back and this is the reason why I'm leaving. I mean, you don't even have to tell me the reason, but why don't you warn me in advance that mama so and so, me naenda and I am not going to come back? Yeah? There's one that I had just the other day. You know, I came home, her payday, I paid her, and then she was like, oh, mi nimepigiwa simu, hata Mungu ameona tu vile umenilipa. So I'm like, umepigiwa simu? You know, in my mind, I'm even thinking that people from home are asking her to send money, because it's just normal that people ask you to send money. When you're in the city, people associate you with money, right? And she came here, she told me she has like 5 kids or so. So obviously she will earn and then send the money back to go feed the 5 children. Who is feeding the 5 children? She has to feed them, right? So when she told me amepigiwa simu, I thought, oh, amepigiwa simu atume pesa. Like, that's the first thing that came into my mind. Then she was like, now nimeambiwa natakikana nyumbani, na mi nafikiria tu nyanya yangu amekufa. Mimi Achieng, I was like, ala, kwa nini unaua nyanya yako? Kwa nini unamuua? I mean, why would you fikiria that your grandma is dead? Is it like, guys, can you relate to that sentence? Ati mimi nimepigiwa simu na ninafikiria tu my grandma is dead. My friends, I sat and looked at that lady like this. And then I asked her, kwa nini unaua nyanya yako? She couldn't even respond to me. Because she was like, mimi hata nafikiria, na sijaambiwa. So I'm like, na wewe, uko kazi, lakini unaitwa kwenyu, ati kesho uende. Hata walikuwa wanataka niende saa hii jioni, lakini nimewakataza. Red flag. Red flag. And when I saw that, I was like, this one, kesho asubuhi. Hata, like, I didn't even want to wait for that jioni ifike. But when we woke up in the morning, I didn't even tell her to go. She woke up, she packed her bags and left. But then I had to give her peace of my mind before she left. I told her it is good to live because we are all aiming higher. Are you not gonna leave your job when you find a better paying job? When you find greener pastures? Are you not going to go? Of course you will. Nani, usitudanganye, you will. So that's why I was telling her, it is not bad to leave a former job to go to another one. Because these jobs differ. Sometimes, kidogo tu. Good. Thank you. Guys, if you have not subscribed, this is the perfect opportunity. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and let it notify you every time that we have posted a video. You don't want to miss these beautiful conversations. Of course, I take them as very beautiful conversations because who has never employed a house girl? If you have never employed one, you are very lucky, because these house girls can be hell on earth. Some of them live in your house. I mean, they live there, they shower, they eat, they everything. And when you have a moment, you dress them. Because personally, when I have a moment and I have seen something that could fit my house girl, I never hesitate to dress my house girl. But when they decide to leave, they don't care if tomorrow you are going to work and your children are going to school. Anyway, so back to what I was telling my house girl. I told her that it's good to look for jobs, like look for another job. No one is going to stop you. And personally, I would never stop someone who has seen greener pastures. But don't lie that someone has died. My goodness. Because I'm trying to imagine, let's reason together, pals. And you can, by the way, send me your comments down here. I'm trying to imagine that this girl woke up and told me, Mama so-and-so, I think our thing ends here. I have been here for this while. I have worked, but now I feel like I have to go back home. Who in their right minds would say no to a mature talk like that one? I'd be like, wow, that's nice. At least you could go back and see your children. Because who matters more than a child you have sired from your own womb? Who? Who does matter more than that? It's only the children that you have sired that matter more than anything else. So for me, if the lady came out and told me, I am going kuona watoto wangu, I wouldn't say no. Even if she said, I am going because I have gotten another job. Do you want to keep someone forcefully here? Alafu kesho, you are out of work. You are out, you've gone to the office. She'll just leave and go. And there's nothing you can do about it. So, we give enough freedom to people who work for us. We allow them to speak to us, and we let free, we let open, and we welcome conversations, communications. In all these things, communication is key. When I told her, when you get another job, it's not good to say someone is dead. It's only good to say this ends here and I go. She was so shocked. I could see from her face that, ooh, she was just lying with the matter of death. I don't lie with death. I don't lie with sickness. In fact, I don't lie, but people are totally different. Mi nikianza kudanganya sahi utajua tu. Like you'll just know that, oh nadanganya. Yeah. But do we want to get there? Do you want to start exchanging that you now lying to me? Anyway, to cut the story short, I let her go. And I've seen a number of them that have gone. Like I was just listening to another story the other day. I had another house girl. Gosh, I've had I have had experience, a wide range of experience. So I remember this girl that I got from the village. She was very young, but that girl was super beautiful. Alikuwa mrembo. Well, we got a funeral home. My father-in-law had passed on. And then I said, why not just carry everyone? Because you see, I have children and I don't want to go with the children alone. Someone needs to take care of them as I take care of, serious matters. I mean, and when I am not able to be with them, someone needs to be with them looking after them, right? That's why we employ people. By the way, no woman employs to be taken care of. All the women that employ for their children, period. I am so sure that as a woman, you only employ because you have a child that needs to be taken care of. And for me, that's the sole reason why I employ a house girl. Otherwise, if my children were able to take care of themselves, I would do all that alone without involving anyone. But these house girls can show you stories. So yeah, back to that story. So we went home. Actually, I went ahead of them. I went with one of my children and my husband, and then that girl had to come the following day with my sister and my other baby. So we went. After the burial, obviously we were to travel back to the city, and then it was so funny when we came back, but right in the bus, that girl that was a good one and naive, all reserved, she met a man in the bus. Look, I am not saying it's bad to meet a man. I am only saying that you have to look like, oh, good. People have met in matatus everywhere. I mean, just everywhere. But it was funny. She met the guy, they exchanged numbers, and I know you're wondering how I knew that she had met a man in the bus. She told my sister that she met and that they actually were seated, yeye, sistangu, and those buses that carry 3 passengers. So yeye na sistangu, and then that guy was in the middle. So that's where they met and they exchanged numbers, and it was just all, and they decided to have a thing. She was really a very good girl. I applaud her for being good and also being very beautiful, as I've mentioned. You give credit where credit is due. And so what bothered me was the conversations that they had. And my friend, she was getting married, She met that guy over the bus and they were just getting married, and she wanted to get married to that man. One thing that I kept telling her is, haufai kuharibu kazi. You should not just let your job go because you've met a man. Because now she was young also, younger than me, so I could sit her down as a little sister and just speak to her. So I told her, it's not good to let go your job because you have met a man. Tomorrow you'll need this job, however little. And then again, if you are sure you want to get married, you can't come from my house. Because guys, what is the right thing to do? You can tell me down here on the comments. I mean, I welcome all the comments. What is the right thing to do? For me, the right thing to do was for her to go back home and, take all this process from the comfort of her mom's house, not from my house. Because see, I can't even give her hand in marriage. We are not related. We totally strangers, and the only thing that is connecting us is this job that she's doing for me. And since she's living in my house, she's family, right? She's taking care of our children. She is family. When I told her she needs to go back home before she gets married, as in, for her, she was going to Mombasa because the guy apparently alikuwa anakaa Mombasa. So nilipe pesa yangu, mi nataka kwenda Mombasa kuishi na my boyfriend. Then I was like, my sister, enda pole pole. This men wako tu, as in, even that guy you want to go live with, yuko tu. He's not going anywhere. He will not expire anytime soon. Of course, we don't know when one might die, but can we take things slowly? Then she was like, we nilipe, mi naenda, mi nishapa. And then now she was on phone 24/7. Yani, you come from work, she's on phone. Watoto hawajaoga, chakula bado ya watoto haijapikwa. She is just on phone. And if you listen carefully, and then she didn't even care that she could speak her things anywhere else. Amekaa tu hapo like she's in the sitting room, she's enjoying her calls with whoever. And that was one of those bad experiences that I've had with the house girls. And I have had many other experiences. We are going to have these discussions more often because I believe that every woman employs a house girl, especially if you're engaged and your engagement takes up more of your time and you might not have enough time to pick up children from school or drop them. You will have to employ someone to help you. And yes, everyone matters and everyone has a value to their task, to their name, to them. But how do you behave towards your value? Because look, if all of us were managers, if all of us were doctors, if all of us were teachers, then where could we get nurses? Where could we get clinical officers? Where could we get cleaners? Where could we get secretaries? You see, we cannot all be in one category and we cannot all be equal. We will never be equal. We are all different, blessed differently. Some of us are house girls, teachers, managers, doctors, as in, and the role continues. And if you have no cleaner in your office, then it means you will do the cleaning by yourself. Sometimes you don't even have time to do that, right? And that's the reason why you tell yourself, ngoja kidogo, Aki, I think I'm speaking too much. But anyway, this is something that affects so many of us, so it is just good to talk about it. Yeah, so sometimes it's totally difficult to deal with people, but you just have to learn to deal with them. Guys, as I was saying, guys, that it is always good to delegate these jobs, get someone to do the cleaning, get someone to assist you, because you can never do everything. And that is why a woman decides to employ somebody to help do the work that she's not able to do, as she is also employed somewhere else. So guys, as I was telling you before, the lady went and got married to the guy she had met in the bus, right? She traveled. And when I had told her to go, because actually, okay, when I released her now to go, she was, I don't know, she didn't seem so happy that she was going. But anyway, it's life. So she went, she got married, and she has never stopped bothering me so that she can come back and work with us, because the thing is, she realized that it's not that green as she had been made to believe. And she has also found out that it's not always milk and honey, and she misses what she used to get. I mean, the treatment, I mean, and the way I used to stay with her here. So to be honest, there was no rush, and there was no need of her at that young age going to get married, but it is what it is, because that is what she had decided to go and do. Guys, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we are happy to remind you that we will be posting content now and again, every single time, and we implore you to just hit the subscribe button, because this is the perfect opportunity also for you to hit the notification bell, so that every time we post something you get notified and you can come and watch. Kindly like, watch, subscribe, comment, and do not forget to share widely. Thank you so much, and see you next time for a greater content to come. Bye.